All right, welcome back to the channel. Max Tornow here, and in this video I want to be talking about job versus freedom business. Which one is better? All right, now today we're in the Austrian Alps on a little bit of a snowboard vacation, and the idea for this video actually came from a message by a guy named, I think, Danny or Daniel. He messaged me on Instagram, and what he had to say might resonate with you, so try to pay attention. He said the following. He says, Max, I've been following your YouTube for a while, been watching your videos, I've been following you on Instagram as well, and the idea of, freedom as an online coach or online service provider really resonates with me. It looks really cool. I love to see that your clients are getting all these results. But, and this is the really important point, I have a job right now and I like it. It pays me fairly well. It is pretty cool. It's interesting. It's fairly safe. My friends and family also support me in that job. They say I should keep that job. What should I do? And that is why I wanted to create this video. Now, clearly, obviously, I am biased. All right, having built several freedom businesses myself and for my clients, I'm clearly biased. I have a general disdain for jobs. You know that by now, probably. But nonetheless, I'm trying to give you a little bit of a pro and con view for both jobs as well as building a freedom business as an online coach. So yeah, let's crack right into it. So first and foremost, short answer, should you stay at your job? Yes, stay at your job if, number one, it is financially sustainable for you, meaning it allows you the exact lifestyle that you want to have. All right, it allows you to go on the type of vacations you want to go. It allows you to have the type of experiences that you want to have. Drive the type of car that you want to have, that you want to drive whatsoever. Right? If that is fulfilled by your job, hell yeah, stay there. Also, and this is the most important point, though. This is something that many people forget. Does it fulfill you? I feel like nowadays many people are like, well, the job pays me well, that is it, right? Whether I hate it or love it, it pays me well, and that is fine. I've talked about the concept of a good million versus a bad million. If you make $1 million at your job, but it's a corporate job and you hate it and you're miserable and you have to wake up in the morning, even though you hate waking up in the morning, then don't say, well, it pays me well and that's why I stay at the job. That's not how you want to live your life. You want something that fulfills you, right? For example, a good type of fulfillment is the environment that you work in. Okay, do you have a great team? Do you have a great team of people that support each other, that push each other? And are you working in an environment that shows you the fruit of your labor? That shows you, hey, this is what we're doing. We're growing together. That shows you the results that you're producing, right? You're not just a faceless entity in a gigantic corporation. You don't even know what exactly it is that you're doing. You want to be working on something bigger. You want to be working together with other people on something. You want to build that together. If that is your job, then by all means, amazing. Stay there. Congratulations. That is great. However, and slowly getting into the cons here, be aware that job safety is not where it used to be. This is something that you have to understand. Back in the days, maybe when, your mom or your dad were still having a job, maybe they still have a job maybe, you were probably going to work at a certain company for 30, 40 years, aka your life. It was safe, it was secure, it was great, it was all nice, right? That isn't really the case anymore. Many more companies, number one, they have to lay off people, right? If you think about the last financial crisis where, safe jobs at big companies like General Motors or Volkswagen were considered to be fairly safe until, thousands of people got laid off. So it's not really safe when a financial crisis hits because big corporations have to save money. And one of the easiest things to save money is, well, let's get rid of some employees. So you have to understand that. And the other thing, kind of wanted to mention that before, many more companies are going down the route of like, okay, let's not have full-time labor force anymore. Instead, let's hire independent contractors, meaning we hire people to do a certain task that needs to be done temporarily, and then we let go of them, right? That way they're not hurting any labor laws, because they're not hiring full-time employees, but they're hiring independent contractors for certain short times. Now, that becomes interesting because that means for you that the idea of marketing yourself, of knowing how to sell, becomes more and more important, whether you have a job or a business yourself. It doesn't even matter, right? Because what you're doing with a business is you market your business, right? You sell your services. What you do when more and more companies are trying to transition into short-term labor force, well, you have to market yourself and you have to sell the idea of getting hired by that company for whatever job is available. So you have to understand the idea of marketing and sales will become more and more important, and you can see that already. You can see that more and more companies are hiring short-term labor force. You can see also that more and more people are losing their job due to automation, all right? Go to any grocery store, go to a McDonald's nowadays. What do you see there? You see these nice, convenient little terminals, right? Back in the days, I used to be a real person. That person would need to be paid. That person needs sleep. That person needs vacation. Well, terminal ain't need that, all right? Terminal can work forever. The little machine doesn't ask for a raise. Hell, the machine doesn't even need to be paid. So of course, a lot of companies are jumping on the automation bandwagon and will only continue to do so. You know, it's 2020 now. We will see much more automation because it's cheaper, right? It's not because these companies are evil and they want to get rid of the labor force. No, it's because we, the clients, the consumers, demand lower prices, or we demand that the prices at least don't get higher. So more and more companies say, well, let's save money. Let's just put a terminal here. Allows us to keep those prices low. And that is a problem. That means a lot of people that used to have a safe job don't have a safe job no more. Now, I get it what you're saying. You're saying, okay, there's a difference between a person working at Walmart as a cashier and a doctor, and 100% agree. However, all these algorithms, and I'm sounding like Elon Musk warning about the dangers of AI. It has literally been shown that algorithms are now better at diagnosing certain patients' diseases than a doctor. Now that algorithm just exists. The doctor has to go to medical universities for several years. It costs a lot of money, costs a lot of time. And, we have self-driving cars nowadays. Now, clearly, that is future music. Clearly, we're not there yet. But I'm trying to make you understand jobs are not as safe as they used to be. You need to still be able to sell and market yourself, even more so. More and more companies are jumping on automation. Understand that, all right? So, should you build a freedom business instead? Is it the absolute great magic pill? No, of course not. And again, I'm biased. Freedom businesses are great, they work, and it's very easy to get started with those. However, and this is an important point, don't get confused by easy to start with easy to grow, okay? It is fairly easy to get your first 4 to 5 figures as an online coach, as an online service provider, even with zero prior business experience, even if you're not if you don't have a college degree or a certificate in that respective field. It's fairly easy to get there. Hell, you don't even need a website. Okay, most of my 4 to 5 figure business clients, they don't have a website, they don't have a big social media. It's fairly easy to start. However, if you want to grow it, if you want to scale it, if you want to build it into something sustainable, then you have to keep working on that so you can slowly but steadily automate it as well. Okay, you have to understand that. What always comes along with that is the idea and the skill of marketing and sales. You market your services, you market yourself, and you sell your services. That is very important. So, back to the idea of having a job. If you really do like your job, give it a little bit of a checklist, because oftentimes the enemy of really good is good enough. You know, does your job give you freedom? Many times we say, well, our job is pretty fine, but does it give you the freedom to travel whenever you want? Does it give you the freedom to, sleep in the morning if you want? Like, if you're like me, I hate getting up in the morning, so that was literally like 90% of the reason why I wanted to build a freedom business. It's so I could sleep in the goddamn morning, because I'm a night person. Does your job give you the freedom to travel around? And also, and this is the last important point, does your job give you control? I've been talking about automation. I've been talking about being laid off, etc. These are all things that are not in your control, right? If your company needs to let go of certain people, certain employees, this is completely out of your control. If the next financial crisis hits and a company has to let go of a lot of people, this is not in your control. One of the things that I've always loved about building your own business, be it as an online coach, be it as an online service provider, was that you are in control. So if a financial crisis hits, you are in control. You can compensate with that by maybe working harder, by maybe having great mentors that tell you what to do, right? You are in control. Whereas when you have a job, you're like on a ship in a storm, in a typhoon, if you will, and it's about to sink, and you're not having the rudder. You could just watch it as it's going under. But if you have your own business, you're in control. You can say, okay, let's try to steer around, That is really, really important. So you want to be in control. You want to acquire skills like marketing and sales. You want to have something that gives you freedom. You want to have something that gives you freedom of time, independence of location, and most importantly, you want to have something that pays you well enough so you can literally fulfill your dreams and do what you want to do. Back in the days, when I was studying, I was actually studying Latin and English. Has nothing to do with this. Before that, I studied music because I'm a very passionate musician. Not a good musician, but very passionate. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. But I always thought this whole idea of being free, traveling the world, and literally buying whatever you want to buy without having to look at the price, unless you buy a really expensive car, maybe then you want to look at the price, but smaller things like you buy a computer, you buy a PlayStation, you want to buy a nice watch, and you don't even have to look at the price. I always thought these things are reserved for someone else. I always thought these things are reserved for someone special, for some born marketing genius, and so on and so forth. But I realized the more and more I will work on that myself, I realized like, hey, nobody's cut from a different cloth. The great freedom life or whatever is not reserved for someone specific. Anybody can do it if they're willing to work for it, if they're willing to maybe ask for help and then execute those things. And that was one of the things that I pursued. I understood, hey, if I could just put in the right work, I can go make things happen. And that made me very, very happy. And that's also a big reason that why after building my first business as a dating coach, I wanted to build my other business as a business coach. Because there's one thing that I knew very well, how to build an online coaching business, how to scale it, how to build it more, how to build a little bit of a movement behind it if that is what you want. And that is why I'm here today, to just kind of show as many people as I can that, hey, you don't need to be cut from a different cloth. If this weird Austrian, I literally grew up here, by the way, 5,000 people, Cowtown, made it happen, right? Not necessarily blessed with a lot of above average intelligence. If I can make it happen, then you can make it happen as well. So you got to understand that, last but not least, to summarize, if your job makes you happy, if your job gives you the freedom, if your job gives you all the opportunities that you want and enough money, and if you understand that your job will never be safe, but you still accept it, then that's great. But if you want a little more from life, if you want to be in control, if you understand that you have to still learn how to market yourself and learn how to sell yourself, right? Sell your services, sell what you have to offer. And if you're willing to take action to grasp that freedom, then do it. By all means, do it. And don't listen to your friends and family because they're biased as well. They're biased because they're probably in a job. Look at them. If they're miserable at their job, if they hate getting up in the morning, then don't do it. All right? Bottom line, you have to take action. That is all. So when you say you're inspired by that, you say, yeah, that sounds great. Hell yeah. You know what? Let's go for it. Let's give it a try. Build my own business as an online coach, online service provider. Then you can literally jump on a free consultation call, either with me directly or with an expert from my team. There's a link down in the description. You click that and you can book your call, okay? Once you click that link, it brings you to a page. I want you to read what's on that page because it's important information for you to get started. And then at the bottom of that page, you fill out the application, and you can book the exact date and time where you want us to call you. Now, that call is entirely for free, no hidden extra costs whatsoever. But we do screen very hard for whom we want to be working with, okay? So click on that link in the description, jump on a free consulting call, and on there we can discuss if and how exactly we can help you get started. Now, if you already have a skill and you want to learn how to monetize that, this call is for you. And no, you do not need to have 10 years of experience in that field. No, you do not need to have a big brand in that field. No, you do not need to have a certificate or college degree in that field. Most of my 4 to 5 figures a month clients, they don't even have a website. They don't have no big YouTube or Instagram following whatsoever. If you know a couple things right, you can still make it happen very, very easily. Now, if you like the idea of being free, if you like the idea of having your own business, but you don't know what it is that you could be offering, it's crazy, look at these ducks here, but you don't know what it is that you could be offering, you could still book that call because we know the market well. We can analyze your strengths. We can tell you what model fits very, very well for you in your specific situation. And obviously, if you're already making some money, maybe you're making money offline, but you want to transition into online, you want to scale it, you want to do it more properly, then that call is for you as well because clearly we can help you with that, all right? Last but not least, you have to take action. This video was a complete waste of your time unless you use it to take action. You got to understand that. So again, click that link down in the description below. If the link still works, it means we still have spots open. more and more people, obviously, as the channel is growing, are jumping on the opportunity of getting a free consultation call with us. So if the link still works, it means we still have a spot for you. So maybe talk to you very, very soon. I'm going to sign off now from my beautiful hometown in the Austrian Alps. Thank you so much. Talk soon, and GG.
I'm doing this video out of a huge appreciation to all the mentors here. I'm at over 100k this month as well. Things are going awesome. I'm delegating more and more tasks. I'm so happy that I'm in this program, and I'm looking forward for the next months and see how everything goes.